Not very much of a drill shooter. Maybe when I first started out, 8 billion years ago, something like that. Maybe I did some drills to try to improve. Work on shots that were a problem for me. Nowadays, if I have like a particular shot or whatever that I practice, a set of shots, it's mostly to kind of gauge myself. I do feel like it's very important for me to know what are my abilities, even if it's just what are my abilities right now, as opposed to last week or last year, things like that. Just one of the shots that I shoot fairly often is just this long, straight, diagonal shot. And there's a reason that I do this. And the reason that I do this is to make sure that I'm getting aligned correctly when I'm still standing up, staying aligned as I bend over, and stroking straight. The stroking straight part is the part that I've had a problem with. And I realized several years ago that I thought I had a swerve in my stroke. And the way that I realized it is shooting a shot like this with draw. But basically, I was testing out a cue or a tip, I don't remember, and it was like, okay, how good of a draw stroke can I get? So I would go and set the shot up perfectly straight in and just shoot it at 6 o'clock hard and see what would happen. Unfortunately, that's a good draw stroke for me. I'm not Carlo Biotto. You ever see that guy freaking shoot a draw stroke? The damn ball draws back faster than it went forward. Man, an awful lot of those top guys, especially top Filipinos, have just amazing draw strokes. But Beato, by far, to me, is the best that I've ever seen at that. Well, Larry Neville definitely gets a honorable mention too. But so I would go and shoot this shot, and when I first started shooting it, what I noticed, we're not counting if I missed a shot. What I was doing, I'm trying to do it on purpose now, and luckily I've made enough progress, I guess, that I'm not doing it nearly as often. So you can kind of see the cue balls coming straight back and going forward. This is what it's supposed to do. If I had a real stroke, I could probably hit the foot rail with this kind of a shot, but I'm not. What I noticed though, when I first started doing this, that night I was talking about when I was testing this, is this is what was happening. Look where the cue ball went. Even on those times when I would make the ball, the cue ball was not coming here and going up. It was going like this. I was putting right English on a shot when I had to shoot it hard. And yeah, that kind of sucked. I've been playing pool long enough that I didn't think that was going to be an issue. That I thought stroking straight was okay. I've been playing pool long enough that I'm stroking straight. But I managed to convince myself because of this, because sometimes the cue ball would come back this way, that I wasn't stroking straight. And so I had to swerve in my stroke. Oh my gosh, I gotta fix it, gotta fix it, gotta fix it. And I spent quite a bit of time working on trying to straighten out my stroke. I was imagining that as I came back, I was kind of wrapping around my body a little bit. And then as I would shoot hard, I wouldn't have enough time to get back to 6 o'clock. Does that make sense? Let's say that I'm wrapping around my body a lot. If I'm shooting it slowly, I can get back to 6 o'clock and hit a straight draw stroke. If I'm shooting hard, I may not have time to get back to 6 o'clock. I'm going to hit it at 5 or something. Hence the right English, hence everything's all fucked up. This is what I convinced myself was happening. And I still believe that part of that is what was happening. But let me just do this. I never know if the camera is lined up correctly for the shot or for my string. But if it is, then that string bisects this donut hole, this diamond, this 13 ball, this cue ball. And I've had it set up that way. So I could get a view of what am I doing. Am I swerving offline when I pull back, which is what I thought? Maybe I'm perfectly straight, but when I go forward hard, something fucked up's happening. This is the point of the string. This is what I found out about myself at that particular time. Is I would go and I would get lined up on a shot. I was trying to shoot this straight down the table. And I was lining up off. Here's the cue, here's the diamond. I'm supposed to be over here, but I wasn't. So I was getting lined up. This is an exaggeration. Here's the shot line. I was getting lined up off. I'm getting lined up off of the shot line with my stick. My eyes are still good. But then when I try to go back, I don't get to 6 o'clock if I shoot hard. Same kind of deal as if I'm wrapping around my body, but it's actually a little bit worse, because even though I'm lined up here, I was getting set up down here, and then trying to fix it as I would stroke forward. This is what I noticed about myself. Well, it made me mad, but I was glad that I found it out, because now I can work on it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I was working on the wrong thing. I was working on wrapping around my body on a backswing. And that's not the right thing to be working on. The right thing to be working on is coming down on the shot correctly. Not coming down like this, or like this, which I never did, but coming down on a shot correctly. Then it doesn't matter how hard I shoot, I can still stroke straight because I was lined up straight. Make sense? Very short video. I don't have anything more to say about it. Actually, I do. I lied. I didn't lie. I was just mistaken. I went a month ago down, and I was getting some lessons from Tony Chohan in New Orleans, and he said, well, Dave, you shoot well enough that you shouldn't be worrying about any of that stuff. And I was like, cool, Tony Chohan thinks I don't completely suck. And he made a good point. The level that I shoot at, which again, maybe like upper middle class on a good night, I shoot well enough that if I go trying to change my stroke, even to straighten it out, it's probably going to make things worse for a while. And I know this, but I like messing with shit. I like feeling like I'm improving something. I definitely like the fact that now for the most part, I get lined up correctly. I don't get lined up, off of the shot line and have to get back on the shot line when I'm actually shooting. I like those kind of things. So, to me, it was revealing to me. I did not expect that I was getting lined up incorrectly. I've been playing pool, 1983 is when I started playing pool seriously. And in about 2019 is when I realized that I wasn't getting lined up on the shot line. Probably was back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, whatever. But at some point during all that, I lost the ability to get lined up on the shot line correctly. Now I feel like I've got it back. For the most part, I get it back. When I pay attention to it and I look at where am I, I'm on the shot line. This is a good thing. This string, in combination with the camera being lined up correctly, and I don't know if it is or not right now. My camera kind of jiggles when I insert the memory card and stuff like that, so it can get off kilter, but this has helped me a lot. Just being able to watch a video of myself. If in a perfect world, if everything's lined up, then you can watch me get lined up on the shot, and you can watch that string go all the way back my cue and cut my cue in half. And it does that all the way back. If everything's lined up correctly, and I'm stroking straight and all that, then that string is always cutting my cue. That's pretty damn straight. And I'm talking about straight in the horizontal plane. This plane, not this one. I'm not talking about the vertical plane at all. But very helpful for me. And all it freaking is a string, with a washer to weight it down, and it's tacked to my ceiling. Just a little plumb bob cost me 15 cents, It's helped me a lot. And I never said this was going to be an interesting video or an exciting video, but at least it's a short video.